Good morning, boys and girls. Today, I plan on reviewing with you for the Chapter 9 test this week. And what I'm going to do right now is go through every Quizizz question on your assignment today and walk you through how to do each one. And then tomorrow, I will post the answers on Google Classroom so you can check over your work and we can meet about it and see if you have any questions. Okay, so for number one, to find the area of this triangle, you have to refer to your formula sheet. So the formula for the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. The base is 9. The height is always the dotted line. So the height is 3.5. So it's 9 times 3.5 divided by 2. And you're going to use a calculator and you're going to pick the correct answer. And their answers are labeled as centimeters squared. This really should be an exponent of 2, but I guess the way they typed it, it was hard to make that an exponent. But this label means centimeters squared. Okay, so let's move on to number 2. Number 2 says, Penny's garden has a fountain in the middle that has a base of 5 inches and the height is 9 inches. The garden around it has a base of 16 inches and the height of 5 inches. What is the area of the garden? So her garden has a fountain in the middle. So when you want to find the area of her garden, you need to subtract the area of the fountain in the middle. So you would do the area of the whole entire thing, which would be 16 times 5. Find the area of the fountain and subtract the 2. Okay, so that's number 2. For problem number 3, it says, what is the area of this figure? So it's a rectangle, so it's length times width. Okay, here's the length and here's the width. Okay, let's look at problem number 4. So for problem number 4, it is a parallelogram. So the formula for a parallelogram is base times height. So the base is 10 and the height is 5. So you would do 10 times 5 and you have to label it correctly. So one answer is labeled correctly and one answer is not. So be careful of the one you choose. Okay, this is number 5 is a trapezoid. So you have to refer to your formula sheet. So the area for the trapezoid, and by the way, this 9, just ignore this 9, okay? This is example number 5, ignore that 9. So the trapezoid has bases of 5.6 and 12, so you would add those bases together, and make sure you do that on your calculator. Hit equals, times that by the height, which is 5. So it's 12 plus 5.6 equals times 5 equals, and then divided by 2. Okay, and this answer, they didn't label the answers, so you just pick the correct one. Okay, number 6, area of a parallelogram. So I'm going to grab my pen for this one, so you could see that the base, you have to count how many units across the base is. So the base is 6 units across, and the height is 2 units going up. So the base right here is 6, and the height right here is 2. So it's base times height. Okay, for number 7, a parallelogram has a base of 35 and an area of 700. So be careful. So the formula is area equals base times height. You want to plug in for the area is 700. You don't know the base. So the base, I'm sorry, you do know the base. I apologize. I'm going to cross this out. You do know the base. So the base is 35, but you don't know the height. The height is what you're missing. So you're going to divide 700 by 35, and the height is always just expressed in centimeters. Notice how all the choices have centimeters. Okay, let's moving right along to number 8. What is the area of a triangle whose height is 10 and base is 6? So the area of a triangle, refer to your formula sheet. It's base times height divided by 2. Okay, so make sure you use that formula. Okay, number 9, the area of a parallelogram is base times height. Here is the base, and the height is the dotted line, and you're using your calculators. Number 10, the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. Here is the base, and here's the height. And make sure you multiply those and divide by 2. Number 11, parallelogram, base times height. Base is 10, the height is the dotted line. You would only use 6 if you were finding the perimeter, but you're not. You're finding area. Area is what's inside. Okay, that's important. Pay attention to that for your test. Area is the distance inside, and perimeter is the distance all around the rim. Okay, those are good test questions. All right, number 12, the area of a parallelogram. You add together the bases times the height, divide by 2. Number 13, same thing. It's a trapezoid. You add together the bases times the height, divide by 2. I don't know if I said that in the last question, so I just want to say that. This is a trapezoid. So you would add the bases times the height, divide by 2. And the same thing for number 13. Add the bases times the height, divide by 2. Same thing for this one. Add the bases, it's a trapezoid. Add the bases, times it by the height. Make sure you divide by 2. Pick the correct answer. Okay, the shaded region. To find the area of the shaded region, you find the area of the whole entire square, which would be 4 times 4, and you subtract the area of the inner square, which is length of 2 and width of 2. So you find the area of both squares and then subtract your answers. Same thing on this one, except they're not squares, they're rectangles. So you find the area of the big rectangle, 12 times 10. Find the area of the smaller rectangle inside, 7 times 2, and you subtract it. Because for the shaded region, you have to subtract what's missing, and this is missing. Okay, this is a trapezoid. Find the area, you add together the bases, times it by the height, which is 12, and divide by 2. What does area mean? We just discussed this, okay? Make sure you know what area means. A triangle has an area of 9.6 centimeters squared, and the height is 1.2. What is the base? Okay, when you want to find the base or height of a triangle and you're given the triangle's area, you always want to use this formula, and that will be on the test this week. But you have to know, and on the formula sheet it does say to find the missing dimension of a triangle, meaning you want to find the base or the height. That's the missing dimension. You use this formula. So it's 2 times the area, which is 9.6. You don't know the base, but the height is 1.2. So you want to multiply these two numbers, and when you get your answer, you divide that by 1.2. Feel free to hit pause and do that. Okay, number 20, area of this triangle. Well, the area is base times height divided by 2. The base, I'm going to write the numbers so I could see how long the base is. The base is 6 numbers across, so the base is 6. So B is 6. And the height, I'm going to see how many numbers I can write on this dotted line. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're going to do 8 times 6 divided by 2. Here, you want to find the base. So remember, when you want to find the missing dimension of a triangle, you use this formula. 2 times the area equals the base times the height. So it tells you that the area is 40. So it's 2 times 40, I'm using parentheses to show my multiplication, equals, I don't know my base, but my height is 8. So I'm going to do 2 times 40 is 80. So it's 80 equals what number? The base times 8. You would divide 80 by 8 to find that base. Okay, you're finding the missing dimension of a parallelogram. So here's my formula for the area of a parallelogram. You know that the area is 49, and you know that the base is 7. So 7 times what number for the height is going to give you 49. Okay, perimeter is the distance all around it. So you're going to have to add, opposite sides are equal, so you're going to have to add all these sides using a calculator. If you weren't using a calculator, you would make sure you lined up your decimal point. This would be 6.0 plus 6.0 plus 3.5 plus 3.5. But on your calculator, you just need to type in 6 plus 6 plus 3.5 plus 3.5. Okay, perimeter is the distance all around it, and opposite sides are equal. So 10, this is 10, 6, this is 6. So you're going to add up 10 plus 10 plus 6 plus 6, and that would be the perimeter. Okay, perimeter, you should know that. Okay, perimeter, think about the word rim. The distance all around, I'm sorry, it's very hard for me to draw this. I'm just outlining this rectangle. All around the rim is perimeter. And area is what's inside. So the area is always inside, and the perimeter, I'm going to write the word perimeter, and I'm going to circle the word rim because it's the distance all around the figure. Okay, so I hope this video helped you. Feel free to go back and watch it again. These are review questions for your test. Find all the answers on the Quizizz assignment. Make sure when you do the Quizizz assignment online, you write your first and last name. Don't write your first name and your first initial of your last name. You need to write out the first name and your last name on the Quizizz assignment. It will grade it for you. So feel free to do this review as many times as you want to get a good grade. I will be recording the grade on the portal, even for this review. And I certainly will be recording the grade for the test on the portal as well. So feel free to email me if you have any questions. We will be having a Google Meet, so look out for my emails about that to go over this review and to see if you have any questions at all for the test. And the test will also be on this Quizizz program. So I hope I've answered a lot of your questions. If not, please reach out to me. I hope everybody's doing well and staying healthy. And good luck with this assignment, and I will see you on the next video. Okay, bye guys.